Good afternoon from the Red Mic. Had some connection troubles there at the start, so sorry for the dead air at the beginning, but here we are. These weekday messages are leadership and life lessons I've picked up from my life as a public servant over the last 25 years, a youth sports coach, mostly football, scouting volunteer, and as a mediocre athlete with more heart than actual physical ability. Today, I want to talk about something really special, the magic of coaching. But first, I want to wish a very happy birthday to Damon Robertson, Betsy Cogliani, and Ken Monceau. Now, Damon's always great for a funny photo or a meme to help brighten my day with a laugh. Betsy, who I've never met in real life, I've chatted with her a ton, but she's very dear to me because of a shared friendship that we both had with Scott Madsen, who I mentioned the other day is passing. And last, Ken Monceau. Man, I've known Ken Monceau since the early part of our scouting journey with his older son and my older son. But Ken is he was one of our realtors. He helped sell our old house, and we used another realtor to buy this one because he was a home builder. Ken, he followed me as scoutmaster at Pac 61 at Mills Elementary here in Austin, Texas. And I got to say, Ken is without a doubt one of the most honest people I'm honored to know. If you're ever looking for a good realtor to help you buy, Ken's your guy. And not a birthday wish, but a shout out to Tony Russell. Now, Tony Russell, he and I'll probably have a few stories about Tony because I'm also going to talk about the Fitz at some point. If you know the Fitz, he's nationally known now. But Tony and I worked together at the radio station group up in Wichita Falls. He was a DJ at KNIN in Wichita Falls, and I sold advertising on all four of our stations. Tony and I got to be friends then, and we've maintained that friendship throughout the years. Well, he left radio a couple, 3 years back, and he is now working as a insurance salesman, independent insurance salesman, primarily in the Northwest, but he's also licensed here in Texas, so he's my insurance guy. He sells insurance in several states, so look him up if you need a quote. Now, today's Red Mic message. Now, you've heard me say every day that I've been involved in football for a really, really long time. 16 years as a coach, 10 years as a player. Let me tell you, even though there's always a thrill of being on the field, there's a whole different kind of magic that happens on the sidelines and the practice fields. Now, every season as a coach, there was always that one player, the type they got a ton of heart. They put in the effort. They are there for every practice, but things don't click quite as easily. Maybe they struggle with throwing the ball or catching the ball, or they fumble the ball more. They can't block or tackle quite right. Or like me, they're very slow footed. But you see it in their eyes and their hard work, that determination, that I'm not going to give up kind of spirit. I can relate to that because, let's be honest, I've said it a million times. I was not a star athlete myself. Back in the day, the coaches would say, and this is why I say this, they always told me I had a lot of heart, but, they also acknowledged I wasn't all that athletically gifted. Maybe that's why I connected so intensely with players that I sort of saw a little bit of myself in. Kids who were always working hard to find their own level of success. Spend hours and hours and hours with them. And then finally, there's that one brief shining moment. Could have been a perfect pass or a clean tackle, perfectly executed play, anything, but they did it. That one player finally did it exactly 100% right. And you're like, yes, that's it. I am so proud of you. In that split second, you would see this dawning realization cross their face. And it was usually that quick. It was over as quick as it. But you would see the realization, hey, I can do this. I'm not worthless. And at that point, they unlocked that skill, that potential that they had inside of them all the time. They just needed the hard work and the determination and someone to help guide them on the way. Back in Wichita Falls, one of my players like this was a kid named Austin Cobb. Great kid. One of my favorites. In his first season with the Ben Franklin Lions, Austin struggled to figure things out. He just did, sometimes it was aggressiveness. Sometimes it was just, again, maybe not the most athletic kid in the bunch, but man, he wanted it so bad. He worked so hard. And in his last season playing for me, he was a starter. He was one of my starting guards. And he went on, played in middle school, played in high school for the Coyotes, the same team I played for when I was in high school, our shared alma mater. Now he's now married, and he would probably admit that, like me, when it came to picking his bride, he really outkicked his coverage. His bride is an adorable young lady, and they have two gorgeous children, and he's running for city council back in our hometown in Wichita Falls. If you're in the Falls, vote for him, Austin Cobb. I'm so very proud of him for his tenacity, his character, and his exceedingly good heart. He's a fantastic young man, and proud to know him too. Moments like that with Austin and all the other players that I tried to help along the way, they weren't just about football. And here's where the business aspect of this can kick in. They were about the life lessons learned in the field: perseverance, dedication, and let's face it, the sheer joy of accomplishment. It's not just about celebrating the small wins. It's encouraging the strugglers and witnessing, like I said, the magic of coaching, the magic of that hard work blossoming into achievement. It was a privilege to be part of those journeys for all of those boys that I helped along the way, and helping them discover their abilities and building their confidence. And now that, I'm doing the same thing in, business setting for the last 25 years, but to see the same sort of accomplishments from the people on your staff, the people that you're rooting for all the time, again, it's an honor and it's a privilege. That concludes today's Red Mike message. I hope that you found it helpful, or at the very least interesting. I live stream these messages every weekday at 2:30 Central, right here on Facebook and YouTube. You can watch them anytime thereafter on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and X, and I even post a link on LinkedIn as well. You can look it up there, Red Mike Messages on LinkedIn also. I would appreciate a like, a follow, and a share on Facebook or on any of those channels, but preferably on Facebook to start off. I will see you Monday. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. And remember, life is short. Drink the bourbon.